Do you see these flowers? My husband bought me them. But before you start getting mad at your man as to why he hasn't bought you flowers or bought you a gift or did acts of service or whatever your love language is, I will have you know that I had to ask for these flowers for them to be delivered. Let me explain. My husband is going on a work trip this week. So 2 days ago, as he was planning to leave for this work trip, I was like, Ahmed, while you're gone, I want you to send me flowers. And he's like, okay, I got you. And we just both started laughing because this is something that we do in our relationship. When I want something, I ask. Now, all of the feminine energy gurus will have you thinking that that is a corny thing to do, or you shouldn't have to teach a man how to love you. And I just want to spend this whole video telling you why I could not disagree more with that statement. Because guess what? I wanted flowers, and I have flowers that I'm about to put up into a beautiful bouquet and stare at and feel loved every single time I look at them. And the old version of me who was following that type of advice would be expecting flowers all week and would probably not get them and would feel seriously unloved in a relationship with a man who loves me more than I can even understand. Love is interesting, okay? Respect and love are two very different things. I never want you to teach a man how to respect you. I never want you to be in a relationship with anyone who doesn't know how to respect you. Respect is a non-negotiable. The feeling of love is also a non-negotiable. I never want you in a relationship with somebody who doesn't love you, okay? But how people show love differs from person to person and from relationship to relationship. If I tell you that 3 years ago, before Ahmed and I were together, 4 years ago now, I didn't think I gave a shit about flowers. I didn't think I gave a shit about gifts. I thought my love languages were touch and acts of service. It turns out that all 5 of them are my love language, just to be clear. But my point is that if I didn't even know what I needed in a relationship 4 years ago, how can I expect him to automatically know how to show me love? He shows me love in multiple different ways every single day. One thing that I learned the very hard way when it comes to love languages is, let's say your love language, the way that you need love given to you, is words of affirmation. And let's say you end up with somebody whose love language is acts of service. They will be doing things for you all day. They'll be filling your car with gas. They'll be helping you around the house. They'll fill up your water bottle while you're on work calls. They'll give you a foot massage at the end of the day. And if you don't realize that that's how they're saying I love you, you might think that they went that whole day without saying I love you because you needed to hear those 3 words. But to them, if you came up to them saying like, why don't you ever tell me you love me? They'll feel offended because they'll feel like they've been trying to tell you they love you several times that day because their love language is acts of service. By no means am I trying to tell any woman that if your love language is to hear the words I love you and I appreciate you, that you should settle for him giving you a foot rub if that's not what makes you feel the most loved. My point is, everyone speaks love differently, and you cannot expect him to understand exactly how you speak love if you do not communicate that to him. You have been in a relationship with yourself for as long as you've been alive. At this point, I've been in a relationship, a very loving, romantic, intense relationship with myself for 31 years. I have learned myself, and I'm continuing to learn myself every single day. Why would I not share secrets and tips with someone who is actively intent on showing me love? Like, as soon as I asked for these flowers, it was just a no-brainer. And he still managed to surprise me because I asked for him to have them sent to the house while he was gone. He had a flight at 9 a.m., had to get up before 7 a.m. to pack and get ready because he packs last minute. And he pretended he needed to go downstairs to get something from the car. Little did I know he was going out to the grocery store to get me flowers so that he can give me my flowers before he left. And so he still surprised me. And either way, even if he didn't surprise me, like, all I wanted was flowers that I can look at and feel loved and remember him while he's away. He over-delivered on that. And he wouldn't have been able to do that if I didn't just say what I wanted. Now, granted, what I do hope is after a couple, this is my first time doing this, but after a couple times of me doing this, I would hope that he just knows from now on that if we're gonna be away for a week, that I probably want flowers or some sort of gesture like that. But what is wrong? What is wrong with teaching someone how to love you? If they tell you I love you all day, but what you really need is for them to go buy you a gift, then tell them that. They're clearly trying. I feel like a lot of these conversations that are intended to empower us women end up making us unhappy because they make us feel ashamed to tell someone how to love us. Because these conversations have convinced us that if we need to teach someone the ways in which we need love shown, that we're just not lovable enough for them to figure it out. How unfair is that? Like, really? How unfair would it be for me, as someone who didn't know I liked flowers until 4 years ago, to expect my partner of 4 years to already know something about me that it took me over 30 years to learn about myself? Why wouldn't I give him the cheat code? Why wouldn't I tell him what brands I like? Why wouldn't I tell him certain things that make me feel valued in my relationship? I had to think about it. Like, if he did that for me, what would that tell me? That would make me feel so happy. Like, he's giving me the cheat code on how to do something that I already want to do. This would be a completely different conversation, my love, if I thought you were with somebody who didn't want to show you that they love you. If you feel like you ask for something like flowers, or when you ask for something as simple as when you see that I do my hair, or when I do my makeup, or after I get dressed, I just want you to tell me that I look beautiful. If you're asking for something like that, and that person makes you feel like you are burdensome, that's how you know that it's not, they don't love you, like they don't love you. Love doesn't make love feel like it is a burden. Someone who loves you will feel so grateful that you've given them tips and tricks and secrets on how to show you the love that they clearly have for you. Someone who really loves you will be looking for any way to get that message across to you. Someone who really loves you will hear you tell them that you don't feel loved, and instead of getting defensive about it, will try to problem solve and figure out how they can actively show you the love that they're trying to show you. If you're in a relationship and he really loves you, you're allowed to ask for things. It is not shameful. It doesn't mean that he loves you less. It doesn't mean that you are less worthy of these gestures because you had to ask him to do it. All it means is that you are teaching someone how to be in a relationship with someone they had never been in a relationship with before. Your needs are different than the last girl's needs. His needs are different than anyone that you've been with in the past. Your needs are different than your needs were last year. It's okay to continually update your partner on how to show you love. And I just want us to stop feeling so ashamed to ask for the things that we want, to open our mouths and ask for the things that make us feel loved and make us feel valued. How they respond to that tells you everything that you need to know. But asking does not mean anything negative about your relationship. I look at a lot of relationships that I grew up witnessing, and I truly feel like the women in my life would have been so much more happy if they learned how to not feel like a burden when they ask for something. So if you need examples on how to ask, here are some examples that I've done with Ahmed outside of just please buy me flowers when you go out of town. I've told him, when you're buying me gifts, I would love it to be something that I wouldn't have otherwise bought for myself. Those are the gifts that make me feel the most loved, are things that I want, but that I wasn't going to buy for myself. Sometimes I tell him, after my therapy calls, I need you to ask me how I'm doing. It might seem to you like that's so obvious, but who cares if that's so obvious? Like, who cares? I'm teaching him what I need so that I can get what I need. Like, if you want to sit there and be mad about it should be obvious, but then you spend the whole day feeling not loved and not cared for, then that's on you. Like, that would never be my choice. The first time you do it might feel weird. I promise you, after you do it the first time and after he shows you how willing he is to respond to your needs, you are going to feel so much more encouraged to do stuff like that moving forward. I tell him, when I go get my eyebrows done in this shady area, I would love for you to walk me there. I don't want to walk there alone. What man wants to let his girl walk somewhere where she doesn't feel comfortable walking? Please tell me that. And if you're with someone who makes you feel, again, like you are a burden when you're asking for things that you want or need, then that's not a relationship you need to be in. And asking for those things and feeling that discomfort of how he reacts is going to liberate you from years and years of not getting what you need, okay? Because if he acts weird when you ask, then he was never trying to give it to you anyway, okay? This is not the conventional advice that I know you're used to hearing online, which is why I felt the need to be so honest with you that you can have an amazing man and he's not just fixed in time. Like, you don't come with an instruction manual. That's what makes you so interesting, is the constant learning of each other. He doesn't come with an instruction manual. It's on you to learn what he needs and what makes him feel most loved and cared for. That is what it means to be in a relationship with another person. There are no rules or one size fits all that apply to every single relationship. So you can't expect someone to come into this relationship and automatically know what it is that you need and what it is that you want. I want you to be happy. I hope you always know that none of these videos are ever me trying to defend men who are just not good enough for you. No, I want you to find a man who's good enough for you, who loves you and worships you and adores you, and help that man love and worship and adore you. Like, there's nothing wrong with that, and there's no shame in that. And that is what is required to be in a healthy relationship, because people can't be expected to know everything, and you will always go through new phases in life, whether it's getting a new job or quitting a job or having a child and becoming a mother. Like, all of these experiences are going to require new needs that you yourself don't even know that you need. So how can you just expect someone to automatically understand how to love you? The point is, if they are trying to show you love, just help them out a little bit so you can both get what you want. I love you so much. And as always, stay powerful, my loves.